Welcome back, my automation enthusiasts. If the first part of our Automation in a Day series was the appetizer for you, get ready for the main course. Today, we are diving deeper, reaching higher, and automating smarter. I want you to picture this: a world where your daily tasks are simplified, your productivity is soaring, and you're empowered to achieve more with way less effort. Well, that's exactly what we're delving into today: the secrets, strategies, and the solutions that take automation to the next level. So grab your digital toolkits and prepare to embark on an automation journey that will definitely transform the way you work and live. The question is, are you ready for this? Let's automate. I am sure that intro got you pumped up to learn more and more about Power Automate and desktop flows. So today we will be learning about using input and output variables in our desktop flows. Building up on our previous knowledge of how all the actions that we performed on the Contoso invoicing applications were recorded in Power Automate, the user can actually edit these recorded actions to ensure that accurate automation of the task is performed. In a similar way, the user can also edit the recorded actions and use that as outputs to pass the data out. Now the question is, why are we using these input and output variables? Well, it's an easy answer: to pass the parameters between the cloud flow and the desktop flow. So basically, you define your input and output variables in your desktop flows and you bind them in your cloud flow that runs this desktop flow. The next question is, what is a cloud flow? You need to stay tuned to the future series of the Automation in a Day to learn more about cloud flow and automating. I'm sure that a better understanding comes from performing a lab. So today I'll be demonstrating how to create a new Windows-based desktop flow with predefined inputs, and then we will record the actions performed in the desktop-based Contoso invoicing application using these inputs that we have created, and then we will capture the application data for output. And in the last step, we will be performing a test run of this new created desktop flow with a new set of inputs.
Continuing with what we did last time, we created a solution named as invoice processing solution in which we created a desktop flow by the name of enter an invoice. Double click this to open the desktop flow. Once you double click this and click on edit, the Power Automate for Desktop dialog box will appear, and once you click on launch application, the Power Automate for Desktop application will open with the flow that you've created for entering an invoice. Once you click on the launch application, the Power Automate for Desktop will open and the following actions can be seen that you have performed already in the previous session. Now, this lab is about creating input and output variables. On the right hand side of the pane, on the top right side, you will see this option for variables. Once you open this, you can see the options and you can see that there are currently no input and output variables. So now let's create one. You click on this add variable options and let's create our first input variable. Let's name it as amount, and the data type would be set to text and the default value would be amount, and let's set that to, sorry, the default value would be $500 and the external name would be amount and the description would be amount as well, and we click on save. Now this creates a variable for amount that is set to a default value of $500. In a similar way, I have now created two more input variables. So now we have account with a default value set to wingtip cups, an amount variable set to $500, and a contact variable set to b.friday@wingtipcups.com. Now, once we have the three input variables, let's create one output variable as well. Let's name it as invoice ID, and let's just copy this and paste this in external name and in the description as well, and click on save. Once you click on save, an output variable by the name of invoice ID has been created. And once you scroll down in your main actions pane, you will see an end of auto generated actions using the recorder option being displayed as well. The next step of this process is to go to the left side of the Power Automate for Desktop option, and you will see an actions pane displayed here. Over here, let's write get details. And once you write that, you will see that it has an option of data extraction, get details of the UI element in window. Double click on that and you will see the following pop-up appear. In the UI element drop down, you will go on add UI element. Once you click on that, the following pop-up will appear and you will open your Contoso Invoicing application, go to Invoices, hold down your Control tab on your keyboard and click on ID option. Once you do that, the UI element will automatically be filled with this. This can vary system to systems, but it will automatically be filled. Once this appears, you will click on save. Now, in the actions pane, you will now write set variable and select this. Once you select this, go over here and replace the new var with invoice ID, and in the value portion click on X, which is for selection of variable. Once you select that, scroll down and select the attribute value and select and save. Okay, after this what you're going to do is you see the populate text field in window options. As you can see, the text box 2 has the text of wingtip cups, which corresponds to your account name. So now let's set this variable with this edit text box. Now, when you hover over this field, you will see the three ellipses and you will click on this, click on edit. Once you click this and you have text to fill in, click on the variable tab and you will link it with the account name. Select this and you will remove the text that was already entered and click on save. So now the edit text box is linked with the input variable account. We will do the same for the contact, email and the amount as well. Once you have edited all of these text fields in window options, you will now go and save this flow. Once you've saved the flow, now we click on run, and when we click on run, it will run the application for the Contoso application. Go to the invoices tab and now it's performing all the actions that we had selected in the desktop flow. It's entering the input variables, which is the account, contact and the amount, and it's now setting the status, which is your output attribute, into invoiced. Thank you for attending the session today. I'm sure you have learned how the input and output variables function in a desktop flow. The next time in the same series, I'll teach you how to use a desktop flow connector in Power Automate to connection. Stay tuned.